Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Now, if there's one reason that you're probably on my channel, it's because you like ships. And the only other reason that you'd be on my channel is because you can't build ships. Today's episode of Minecraft and whatever the hell I am on today, I'm going to be showing you how to build a ship. No bullshit, just showing you how to do it. Today, I'm just going to be designing the German Battlecruiser von der Tann. Relatively well-known battleship, battlecruiser. I mean, if you study like World War One or just naval technology in general, but overall, she's not one of the ships that you think of when people think of big battleships or big battlecruisers. But she is still a pretty notable one, as she is Germany's first hand at a battlecruiser. And frankly, I've been needing to rebuild my German battlecruisers for a while. So I'm going to walk you through it. The first thing you're going to want to do when you're designing a ship is you want to figure out how long she is in meters, because Minecraft works in meters. This block right here is precisely 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. Count how many times I have to say meter in this video. Uh, and so you'd be measuring how many meters long a ship is by how many blocks long a ship is. And in 1 to 5 scale, you will cut those values by 5. So let's take a look at her specs. Von der Tann was 171.7 meters long. So that's about, let's see, 20. Hold on. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. All right, so it's a lot easier to just count it out by fives. And her draft is about 8.9 to 9.1. So that'll be 2 blocks. I mean, it's easy. It's easy as that. Some ships you'll have 1.5, for example, most pre-dreadnoughts and a lot of dreadnoughts. Some ships you only vibe with 1, and I have seen ships that can go anywhere from like 3 to, I think, Ger Vikings is 5. Yes, 24 meter draft. So with that out of the way, you're going to want to connect the bottom, just like that. And then you want to find out how wide she is. Von der Tann finds herself to be at about, let's see, where is it? About 26.6 meters wide. So that's going to be about 5. It's going to be 5 wide. Just like that. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is lay out her silhouette. Usually, this is the easiest part, as you just usually this is the easiest part. A lot of ships don't have a ton of definition. Like here's my old Admiral Hipper class. A very pronounced bow. Although if I were to redo this, it would be significantly shorter. Von der Tann happens to have 3 decks and a relatively flat bow. So what we're going to do, because her ram bow is so little, is I'm going to come down here, mangrove stair, and a mangrove slab, just like that, to form the underside of the bulge, because these ships are like weirdly like ocean liners. They curve a lot. And then she's got 3 decks, and typically you want to assume that a deck is about a slab. So something like that will work just fine. And in the back, Depending on the incline, you're going to want to use either just a regular block or you can use a stair. In this case, I'm going to use a stair because I think that looks the best. And then I'm going to put a stair to either side. And I'm just going to pull up an image of her because I've done this a million times, so I don't really... Explaining it's going to be the hard part. That is a good picture. All right. So she's a pretty stubby stern like that. See if we can get a decent side profile. Okay. And then you could put a slab underneath there, just like that. And then she's a relatively flat stern, so you're going to want to bring it out like that. And then it just kind of drops. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a wall. Any wall you want will be fine. Put it there. You'll find some people will do shaping with like walls and glass and whatever. I tend to just use slabs and prayers. So you're gonna want drag this a bit because she has an extra well deck that goes further down. Let's take a look at her shaping. So you've got about 1, 2, 3-ish, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, and one stairs, because it comes out a little bit like that. And that should be fine-ish. Based on where her funnel is, I may change this, just like that. And then slab behind that. 2, 3, 4, 5. We got that right. You want to make your hull lines, which are just slabs at this scale, like this. And you pull it back about there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So I'm going to bring this 2, 3, 4, 5. Do that. Just like so. That's a bit short. Sometimes what you can do, which is what I'm going to do here, bring this forward a bit because she has a bit of... It's a very flat ship. You can actually just... That's fine. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That works. Like that, and that works just fine. Right. I'm gonna make this longer. Like that. See that? Yeah, but let's make this longer. Maybe stair. Yeah, that works. And then typically, just putting a block about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 works depending on what you have here. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna want to make sure that this is like pretty curved. because ships are not flat. They have very curvaceous hulls. And so you're gonna want to do something like that. And then and make this longer. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that's a bit. No. Bring that 5, and then make this a stair. Does that work? That works. Yep. I'll make this 3. Seems a bit long. It'll be fine once we round it out. This is very much a trust process scale. Boom, boom. 1, 2. Stair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slab, and then yeah, just like that. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. All right. And we want to pick out. Let me fill this in first. Damn it. Just like that. And I'm going to use stone, fill this in. Sorry. And for this particular ship, she does have a very flat hull, very wide, flat hull. This will not work for every ship. A lot of them, for example, here's a pre-dreadnought. It just kind of just goes right in, right flat like that. And then see HMS Dreadnought. Dreadnought has a bit of, she has a longer, much longer bow, so she goes in further, like that. But it's all down to what you prefer. And then let's get a decent side profile, so we can pick out. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 30, 16, 1. All right, that's about the middle. So we're gonna bring back a block, and then guns. What guns are what side? Okay, so this, typically, if you're encountering a World War I era dreadnought, your guns are gonna be about 2 blocks, just like that. And then I like to use fence gates for the barrels, like that. I'm gonna separate those a bit. Like that. Just means this does definitely need to be longer. Like that. Yep. And then you want a deck, because that's what everything sits on top of. Just like that. And then, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then 1, 2. For guns, I typically use stone bricks and stone brick slabs just to separate them from the rest of the hull there. And then when you're on a slab, what you want to do, typically you want to get a trapdoor. That works just fine. And then we're going to fill the rest in. A pretty easy way to tell how far from the bow your gun barrels are going to be. I usually start with the gun barrels. Is if you're looking at your reference image, you want to see about how many full turret lengths it is from the bow. So Von der Towns is about 1 1/4, just over 1 gun length. Welcome to America, measuring things in gun lengths. And then how many decks? So 1, 2. Although I'm going to use polished andesite slab here for the conning tower, like that. And then there's going to be another block behind it with a dark oak fence gate. Because of that, it's 2 decks higher, and it's going to hold put birch trap door on top of it, like that. Another block behind it. I'm gonna put a stair on top of that, right? Yeah, no, yeah, that works fine. And then I'm gonna do that with walls to do the cantered nature of this part of the deck. Out like that, and that works fine. So bring it up with that, maybe. Maybe that works. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to move a deck down. Let's see if I can. So I don't quite remember how this part looks. Okay. So these little platforms here come out a bit. I'm going to use actually, that. Yeah, and I'm going to use skeleton skulls for that. It's the way that the hull comes out, and then there's a little section here that branches out like that, and that'll be fine. And then you put here, this goes the funnel. There. And then you're going to want to match the height with this funnel, just like that. Okay, we're going to move this forward a bit because this is too far back. Boom, like that. Yeah, that's fine. I think what I can do is I'm going to color this red, and then I'm going to just make it bigger. That works fine. Boom, 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 boom. Like that. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. Okay. That looks fine. Yeah. And then I'm gonna take. Typically, I use depending on the paint being used, like the shade of gray being used, I'll use any of the versions. But since the Germans tended to use a darker shade of gray, I'm going to use spruce. Boom. One, two, three. Boom. And yep, that works just fine. Actually, I'm going to bring this part out a bit. And then get rid of that. Yeah. So we've got most of the ship. And then go back here. Your aft tower. How many? And you go 1, 2, 3, like that. And another deck on top of it. And another one. No, actually, we're gonna do. And then. Oh, no, we can just make this the aft mast. Like this. 1, 2, 3. And rod. And rod. Like that. And then what I'm gonna do, because this doesn't look tall enough, is I'm gonna put a stair right there. And then boom. That is probably not the best idea. Maybe I'll use boom. Since she's a bit of a platform on top of this, right in front of her mast, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. No. Um, that. An andesite wall and a skeleton skull for the mini platform in the middle of that, and then a full andesite block for the aft conning tower, and then because it's 2 decks, and then finishing off the tower like that. Right, that looks yeah, that looks fine. And then our final gun in place. Boom, boom. Be same color as the rest. And there's that. You know what? I'm actually gonna make this bit a little taller. It's gonna be too tall, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. How do I make this marginally taller? Oh, I have a good idea. Yes. And then signage around it. Just make it a little taller. Yep. And then because I made that a slab, to make those platforms like that, or top, and then sorry. That does not work. Maybe that works. No. No, it does not, because these have those up like that. That is make that stone now, because it is a raised platform. Still gonna make it held up by borderline scaffolding, and then top like that maybe? Yeah, that looks a lot better. And then the top funnels like that. And then she has 2 rudders, so we're gonna use trapdoors back here like this. And then get her propeller shafts, which I typically use end rods, but you can use whatever block you think is thin enough. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? No, I'm not. And because of her relatively thin nature, I'm not going to have all four propeller shafts. I could try that. It could work. Like that. And then flagpole. I'm gonna lower these. Like that. That looks a lot better. And then my advice for this hobby is just experiment. Not everything's gonna work. Not everything is gonna look the best at first, but you'll get there eventually. And I think that's the part that matters. There's lifeboats. If you want to be picky, most lifeboats are only about 3 to 4 meters wide. So technically this works, but they are still a bit too bulky, but they do get the point across. And then you're going to plate off the rest of the deck, unless there are really any major details that I am missing, like her cranes. Like that. Anything else? This boat has davits, but I'm not gonna represent them. And then this turret has a boat on top of it, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna change that to stair. Change these two walls. Yes. And then I'm gonna make the top of the aft conning tower a little taller by using an iron trapdoor on top of it. And hopefully, when all is said and done, you find that you have a model you are happy with. I have a couple little details that I think I can represent. Get a button. We're gonna want a stone button. Stone button. I'm just gonna put it here. Back here. There's a little point, and then get some. Well, there's not a whole lot I can do on here because it's a slab. I don't usually recommend. Ooh, maybe I can make use of these. Oh, no, I cannot. Get some of these. Put them here. And here, maybe. Does that look good? No, maybe that looks. Yeah, that's good. We like that. This, and yeah, that looks like Fonder 10, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put skulls to either side of that, because those are platforms. And there are points. Can I get away with? Maybe see how it looks. No. Yeah, no. And I think, unless you want to be weird and you want your casemate guns, you can do something like this. I personally wouldn't, since they're not really that representable in this scale. But if you want more detail, more power to you, if you can figure out how to cram it in. But I highly recommend focusing more on shape than detail. But with that, I think this is a pretty good place to stop. So hopefully after this video, you know how to make your own, or at least start your own 1 to 5 scale, really anything. It's all basically the same concept, long as you're paying attention and you know what you're doing. Which, if you have good enough reference photos, does that look better? Or it looks loads better. Yeah, as long as you have decent enough reference pictures and a rough sense of scale, you should be okay. Tune in next time, I guess, to when I actually build something, or maybe I might start streaming. I kind of want to start streaming. That would be cool. But yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Love you all. Bye.